All right, first thing, it's good to have everybody in here as a group, okay? So what we are wanting to do starting today, all right, you guys have been in the weight room, you've been on the field running, you've already started creating habits. What we want to do is continue creating the right habits. Every little thing counts. Every little thing is important.
Well, there's a look inside the defensive meeting room at the University of Colorado. A new defensive coordinator, Charles Kelly, back in the Stampede. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Spring ball just around the corner. In fact, Coach Prime and his staff are getting things underway with the football team this weekend, culminating in the spring game on April 22nd. Recently, we had a chance to sit down with a new DC for the Buffaloes, Charles Kelly, who comes in from Alabama to become the Buffs leader on the defensive side of the ball. Joining us now is the defensive coordinator and the safeties coach for the Colorado Buffaloes and Coach Prime, Charles Kelly, here for a few minutes. All right, you're about a couple of weeks away from spring ball right now. You come in with a whole new vision, a whole new idea on the defensive side of the ball. What's been happening the last few weeks? What's happening right now? And then what happens when you get to spring ball?
Well, first of all, we've been evaluating a lot of things. We've been watching players in workouts, watching them in the weight room, watching them move around. And then, I think that's the first thing you got to do is evaluate what you have, what your personnel is, so you can put them in the best possible situations. Now, as far as what we want to do, we've been working as a coaching staff, looking at what style of defense we're going to be, what our identity is going to be. And, identity is a lot more about how you play than what you do on defense. So the first thing we got to get our guys doing is how we're going to do things. And, we want to be big, we want to be fast, we want to be physical, we want to be aggressive. We don't want to sit back and catch people. We want to do those things. So we're trying to create situations where we do that with those players.
You just said something that's kind of interesting to me. You said we're evaluating them to see what works for them.
Right.
Kind of explain that mental attitude. I know you've got concepts you want to do, but you also try to tailor it to what exactly you have?
Absolutely. I mean, the one thing about coaching is you have to adapt to what you have. And we know what we want to recruit. We know what values we want in players, and we're going to do that. But at the same time, you want to make sure when you're doing things defensively that you do things that, fit the players. And that's one of the big parts of the evaluation piece.
Charles, what is the value of, at this point, mental reps these guys are taking? What's the value of that compared to when you get to spring ball and they're actually executing things in the field?
Well, I think the mental thing, there's three things that you look for or that we do in coaching. We want to teach them what to do, number one. We want to teach them how to do it, number two. And we want to teach them why it's important to do it that way. Because if they understand the why, right, then they're gonna work at it more. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is teach them what to do right now, and then they get more reps of it as we have time to work with them on the field. We teach them how to do it. So those mental reps, you see it over and over and over, then it becomes habit. Because what you play with on Saturdays is you don't play the way you want to play, you play the way you train to play.
Okay.
So you want to see it over and over and over, so we create the right kind of habits that help us, be a better defense.
So the point you're making there is you want guys to get on the field and they're not thinking about it, they're reacting to what they're saying based on the foundation you guys have laid.
Exactly. So defense is a reactionary, everything you do is reactionary.
Sure.
So first of all, you have to know what you're supposed to do, and then you trust your eyes tell your body what to do, and then you react and play. If you're trying to think too much, it slows you down. We don't want to create anxiety for our players. Anxiety slows you down. So what we want to be able to do is, hey, I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what I'm supposed to look at. When this happens, I react, I play fast, and then we play the next play.
Has your side of the ball changed greatly? What I ask about that is, when you think traditionally, for guys that are our age, right, you think back and you give up 350 yards 30 years ago, you'd think, boy, maybe we didn't have a great day. Now if you hold somebody at 300 yards, you've had a great day. It's been a changing mentality in the defensive side of the ball, hasn't it?
Well, absolutely, but I think offenses have changed.
Right.
I think part of, in college football, the rules for offense are different than they were 30 years ago. So it enables You know, it enables offenses to run RPOs. I think that's why you see the points have come up some and you see the yardage come up some. And I think people are spreading it out, you know, more than they did, you know, I know 25 years ago. But that, you know, what we have to do, what we have to do as coaches is we have to find solutions for that. That's our job, is to find solutions for those problems, and we've got to find a way to fix it. But it is definitely a challenge every week because you're playing, first of all, when you play really good quarterbacks.
Which we have in this league.
Which we have in this league. All right, that makes it more challenging. And then you got good skill guys, and you got good offensive line. You got running backs that can run the ball, so you got to be able to defend everything. And that's what I mean about being multiple, is as things change, you have to be able to adjust. If you're one way all the time, you know, it kind of limits what you can do.
Yeah, well, you got me excited. I bet you can't wait to get on the field and actually get your hands on practice, right?
I can't wait to get on the field.
There he is. That's the defensive coordinator for the Colorado Buffaloes, Charles Kelly. Buffs will start spring ball on March 19th. It's great to connect with a new defensive coordinator for the Buffaloes football staff under Coach Prime, Charles Kelly. Looking forward to spring ball, getting underway with practice this weekend. A spring game, April 22nd. We just recently found out, by the way, officially that game's going to be broadcast nationally on ESPN. First time that's ever happened for the spring game here at Colorado. Of course, we're going to have it in the Colorado Football Network as well. Don't forget to join us next week. We're going to be talking postseason basketball, the women's team in the NCAA tournament, the men in the NIT. But for now, we put a wrap this week in the Buffalo Stampede. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next time.